Good morning, no, good afternoon. I was here this morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Kingsburg Downtown Business Improvement District. Before we go to public comment, I'd like to welcome Peyton Lackey, our newest member of that has been appointed by City Council to join our group. So welcome. We do have a quorum, and so item number 2, we're going to open for public comment. Public comment is for everything that is not on the agenda, and as we all know that we cannot vote on anything that is not on the agenda, but we can hear public comment. Is there any public comment?
Since you're here, I'm checking.
No? Hearing none. We'll go to item number 3, Swedish Festival Photo Campaign, which I believe everybody has received a copy of, and I'm going to turn this part of the meeting over to Abby since she knows more about it than I do.
Oh, wow, okay. Actually, Amanda, do you know about it? No, Lauren knows about it. I'll pass it on to Lauren.
All right, we'll pass it on to Lauren.
Lauren is our awesome
Hi.
contact person.
I am the contact person. So this was Kim's proposal, since she could not be at the Swedish Festival to take those photos. She thought maybe if we did a little photo campaign that it would bring in photos that people took during the Swedish Festival. So I wanted to show everyone kind of what she thought. That way we could vote on it and not just myself decide on that, and see what you guys thought about it. So it does do a little bit of explaining what kind of action is.
I glanced through it and it all seemed, fine. My question is, do we have great photos of the car show? And do we want to limit it to just the Swedish Festival? And I understand why we're doing it. She was sick and couldn't attend the Swedish Festival to take photos, but I didn't know if we wanted to open it up to, and then maybe in the fall we have another photo deal or contest for Crayfish Festival and summer band and stuff like that. If we're not giving enormous prizes, and that's one thing that's one thing I didn't like about the proposal. I don't want to go to our merchants and ask for something. I feel like
I didn't like that part of the proposal either.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out and ask for prizes
we did
either.
that for what other event was it we did it for?
We did
Open
it,
house.
yeah, open house.
Yeah, and if we do that again for open house, that gets people into but I don't want to every other month. I don't think the bid, we're here to help the businesses, not continually ask them for donations.
I agree.
I wanted to say that I like that she came up with this proposal because she wasn't able to make the event. But I think that the time maybe has passed to do such a thing because we are like a month past the Swedish Festival now. So I think we should do this kind of a campaign before the next one, so that people have their photos and then we stir up some excitement for it coming up now. It just feels kind of like the time has passed, like the window, in my opinion. Like, we're kind of past it, we're not gonna probably post them now. So if we do the seasonal photo competition, like you said, we would announce it before the events happen, so that people can be prepared and come out and participate instead of after. It's already.
But wouldn't it, okay, and we're just brainstorming here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't a few of the Swedish Festival photos be on year-round, on our website type of thing?
We can.
So it wouldn't hurt to have some updated photos and kind of introduce the community to this photo contest, and then maybe the minute this one's over with, which the deal was, the end of June, announce the next one and say, we're looking for photos for community activities such as the band concert, farmer's market, crayfish festival, and that contest will end October 1 or something. I don't know, we need, the committee, Lauren, needs to, come up with, maybe some type of quarterly thing. I don't think the gift or the.
No, I'd like to get rid of that
Yeah.
altogether,
Yes.
the donation, the prize, asking for donation of prizes representing their business as a sponsor of the Swedish Festival Star Big Contest. I don't like that part of it.
No, if we want to give,
Now, if the BID, wants to give something, I don't know, or us within the BID, I don't mind ever donating, but, not to go out and ask for donations.
no,
Yeah.
I think too, we're always welcoming photos, tags, and we share, like during the event, when people were sharing that they were downtown, we posted those. So we're always welcoming that. It doesn't have to be incentivized with a prize, in my opinion. We're always welcoming those photos.
yeah, we're going to acknowledge, acknowledge the photographer, and so that you don't have to be a professional photographer, it's just some photos you've snapped that you think might be a good deal,
Yeah.
What is the benefit to the bid and the members for doing photo contests?
I wonder if we stick with like a hashtag thing, that way everybody can see it. You can follow a hashtag with, I'm not following Lauren. If she tagged it and I'm following that hashtag, you get more views across the board, or people search that, they're gonna see it more widespread. And maybe instead of like giving them a gift, let's get it blown up and framed somewhere in town where everybody can enjoy it. So we're recognizing what they did, but everybody else gets to enjoy it in town too.
And also, I think part of hiring a photographer is to take a little bit of this off of us as a committee, right? So these photo contests do seem like additional work, just to be honest. Like,
Okay.
But that's why I'm asking the
Yeah.
question, what is the benefit to doing this besides more
I
work?
think the benefit
is to get the
photos that she couldn't take because she wasn't able to make it because she was ill. I think that's
That's
the
why we
whole
have a
deal,
contract with her, right?
right?
So the fact that the photos didn't get taken is not our problem necessarily, it's her problem.
Yeah, and this was her solution, was to try to crowdsource the photos, basically.
So what happens when she gets sick at the next event? We're just gonna repaying her to to take these photos, and then we have to turn around and go find them anyways because she's not there? Does she have a plan B?
Yeah, our plan B is to have a photo contest.
And have us do the work for it?
She's willing to collect them, but.
She's willing to collect them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not trying to be
well,
a jerk about it, I'm just.
that sounded a little harsh. I mean, she didn't plan on getting sick.
No, and that's fine.
It's not as if she planned on going on vacation, and.
Sure, but she should have a plan if she does get sick, if she's got a contract, right? I mean, I understand people get sick, it happens, but there should be
A backup
a backup,
Like
contact.
a second shoot.
especially on something that only happens a couple of days a year. You gotta know you got some option there. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, I feel bad she got sick.
I know, but
But at
it
the
does
same
leave
time-
us out of, now we don't have the Swedish Festival photos for our website, which is kind of a bummer, 'cause that's a big event that we do.
I think it's the biggest event I can.
Okay,
know.
so maybe we just do this photo contest for this year's Swedish Festival.
Another option, let me say real quick, if we don't want to agree to this photo contest because we feel like maybe it's just too much or the prizes are too much, what we could do on social media end is we could just come out with a post saying, hey, did you snap a photo at the Swedish Festival? Do you want to tag us in those photos? We can make it super simple like that,
Yeah.
and we can post that right away.
So if they post it, then that opens the door legally for us to tag it and post it on ours?
I think we asked
Yeah, we can
them
ask them.
if we can use their
Yeah.
photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just
Yeah,
do
correct,
that,
for the
a
website,
simple,
and give them credit.
call to action without
Yeah.
contest, there's no
Okay.
end date, and,
There's no
I'm
prize.
not
just a-
opposed to that at all.
yeah,
I
no
think that makes
prizes,
sense.
just a call to action.
And then it's even better because more people are seeing it because they're gonna post it too and say, oh, look. So it kind of leads more traffic to our own Instagram anyway.
Yes.
I don't have social media, so all that is kind of pointless. I visit the website. So, yeah, the website would be best. I'm a
Yeah.
contract administrator, so, yeah, if it's not detailed, then she's off the hook, so.
So if we put it on our website also, we can,
Just see, the
Well, the
website's
only way
not
for us to
functioning yet.
get the photos are through social media right now. We don't have another way for people to tag photos, for us to get those photos.
Or we put it
Or
in
they
the
email it
carrier,
to us.
put it in the
just
carrier.
email them to
Or
us.
email Kim.
Email's good.
Okay, we can
Yeah,
get that.
Cause
We can
Abigail,
put-
this isn't on you to collect these. So we do have a bid email that you can have them send it to, or they can send it to Kim. Either way is fine. Is that
Yeah.
okay to put it in the
That
carrier?
solves the non-social
non-social
media
Yeah.
folks,
Okay.
okay, right?
Then
It,
would go
it's
out
the
on-
only other way to,
Right.
advertise to the city, like, residents is the email.
Well, and I would think by eliminating the prize of this whole thing, there's people like Mike Miller, who's a phenomenal photographer and it does great with his drone work and all that. Well, right now, I think he would be more than happy to share his photos with us at no prize. And I'd hate to get into the habit of like, oh, well, what's my prize this time? You like my photo, do I get a prize for it, type of thing?
Right, and we also did like hire a photographer, so to
Right.
ask other photographers if we can use their photos does seem like counterintuitive to the contract, you know, like, I don't know, that, part of that, I don't get, like, we paid someone to do it, but we're gonna ask other people for their photos instead, you know?
I think one thing we probably need to look at is that contract. Because I know the contract outlines she will take photos for all of those events.
Mhm.
And all of these photos will be used for our website and our directory. Does she have exclusivity in that contract? Can we use other people's photos, or does her contract stipulate that we can only use her photos?
I remember talking about this.
Yeah, I asked about
I'd have to
that,
look
because
at it. I
I
don't
wanted to
remember.
know if, for example, we had a drone shot, like Michael Miller, can we include that on the website?
Yes, I
And-
believe we talked
Yeah,
about this.
I
I
was
believe
told
we are
that.
able to use other people's
Yeah.
photos.
Well, and this kind of opens the door to that,
Right.
her proposal of using other people's photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's going through her in her
doesn't have
proposal.
to, we can have,
Well, but I'm
oh,
just
yeah,
saying,
okay.
that's
I
kind
don't
of,
think
her
that was to
contract
eliminate
doesn't
the
have to
word.
go through her.
I don't think it
That
does
was just
either,
to
but.
take me off of it.
But I do
And
see what
don't
you're
like
saying,
it.
like, if you have a contract and it's not fulfilled, because technically, if you can't attend it, it's not fulfilled.
Okay, so I think
then
the
what?
question needs to be asked, this is just an opinion, the question needs to be asked, if you know, we're sorry you were sick, let's get this handled, we're gonna try to get some photos of it. What's your plan in the future when we have events and an emergency comes up? I wouldn't say sick, an emergency comes up, you know? Hey, Leslie's not here today because an emergency came up
Mhm.
within the last hour or two. So, you know, it's one of those things where, we can just ask her, you know, well, what's the plan in the future type of thing, if this happens to happen again. Who knows, she might have gotten sick the morning of, I don't know, you know, type
It
of
was
thing.
the night before she texted me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, you know, and that's hard to come up with a plan B if you don't have a plan.
Right, but I mean,
plan
like,
B,
if,
you know.
I don't know enough about the industry, but if you're like a wedding photographer and you can't make it, like, you would assume you'd have a second shooter backup or something.
Right.
I don't know how that industry works,
I
but
don't either.
I'm sure that's
they,
probably.
you don't
And
ask the guests
contract.
to submit photos for the wedding, you know?
I'm trying to be the positive and say,
Yeah,
this might have caught her off guard.
For sure.
So let's
What's
ask,
the next
what,
plan?
if it happens again, what's our another plan? To do a photo shoot downtown at my office or, you know, your guy's shop, can always be put off a day if you're sick, but the Swedish Festival, we can't postpone it because the photographer's sick.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good positive takeaway, is what's the plan B for the next time?
Also, I know, our, budget was for every single event and all the businesses. Now that she wasn't able to attend one of those events, are we still paying her the full amount? Was there anything in the contract like that? Because technically, that end of her deal is not held up in the contract now. So I didn't know if there's any way
I
we
didn't bring a
could.
copy. I could send you guys the contract to see.
Okay.
Or ask Mike, right?
Yeah.
The other, this just came across, and I'm not sure if he has social media or not, and some of his photography is very nice, some of it has been cut off, and, and half of people in the photograph is the Asian guy that's married to
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah.
He has a ton of pictures from Swedish Festival already.
Yeah, we might, and like I said, I don't know if he has social media or goes on the website.
He's the
Somebody-
chamber's photographer.
He just gives us a memory stick with all of them.
Okay.
So we will have, so there are
Oh, yeah,
those
there's
photos
probably 200 or
then.
300 photos
Oh,
from the
okay.
Swedish Festival alone.
Okay.
And obviously the chamber would share them. Need be.
And he's given permission to utilize them.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
So we could look at those too.
Yeah.
Like I said, some of his stuff is really good, and some of it is like, why did you cut my head off? And he said, you're too tall. All right, anything else? So our action on this is just to not take any action on the proposal that she presented to us, and we're going to do it via social media and the website. Is that the correct statement?
Sounds right.
So we want to ask Abigail to put in the carrier to please email to our bid email.
Can you guys put together like a flyer or something that I could give to?
To submit Swedish Festival photos for use on social and website. And that's.
Send that over to the chamber too.
I was gonna say, maybe the flyer can go to the
Okay.
chamber, the courier or carrier, whatever it's called, and, our social media. That's getting out there to a lot of people.
Okay. We're just gonna basically do a call to action and no contact.
No contact. So, Lauren, the two of you are good at Amanda putting together the flyer and all, okay. Sure.
And we're not having them send it to her, right, it's going straight to the bid.
Yeah, bid email.
And then, with with our, website, they have created a online file for us to add these kind of candid images, so we'll pick the best ones and we'll put them in there, and they can go from there. That's where Leslie's husband is putting the ones that he's taking.
Okay, item number, is there nothing else on item 3, pretty successful. Item 4, reports from other board members.
I'd like to ask that we add to the next agenda, approving the Abby, help me if I'm wrong, approving the adoption of the city council social media policy. So that our bid falls under the same guidelines as the city council social media through the city attorney, what is it called?
No, so it's a written policy that, like, the city of Kingsburg, we have on our Facebook and Instagram that outlines, like, what's expected regarding comments, because there's, you're right to public to speak, but there's certain parameters that allow you to delete or remove comments, and it has to be well written out to be legal, to have the backing that way. So I could bring I could attach a copy of what the city passed for their social media. It's kind of a best practice, but I didn't even
We haven't
think
encountered it yet.
about it, for you guys to have.
need to be on the next, economic development agenda also?
I don't know, I feel like that's a City of Kingsburg page, so it would,
Okay, I'm just trying to cover everything.
yeah, because I think the people that, are in charge of that page is the same. I think you guys are okay, but I could look into it.
Okay,
But the BID, you guys run your own social media, even though it's formed by city council, so it would just be good to have it on there.
okay. Anything else from the, or anything else?
So I will go to Kim, let her know we're not gonna move forward with the campaign, we're kinda gonna do our own thing for this. Tell her we appreciate her putting this together, but we'll move forward with our own social media and email, picture kind of thing. And then, I'll ask her, you know, if you could just come up with a plan for our future events, letting us know what your plan is if you have an emergency. And then I'll bring that back to you guys and let you know what she says at the next meeting.
So that'll be on the next agenda also, well, actually, it can be a report from board members.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't have to be a separate item, I don't think, on the.
Yeah, if it's not an action item, then.
And then, after the last meeting, Abigail emailed out what the website is looking for each of us to complete. So we just want to encourage every business to fill out the business profile for the website. Just a reminder.
How's website coming?
I haven't heard any updates since our last. I know the biggest thing they were waiting on was those profiles because they didn't have anything to plug in. They couldn't even have a, walkthrough because there were no profiles.
About the photography process, isn't she coming up to the deadline for all the businesses?
I need to look at that date.
Yeah, I
I'm not
haven't had an
sure.
update from the last one. I think she only had like 15 left.
Maybe when you reach out, she could give her an update and then that could be.
Okay, I'll bring that to the next.
Okay. Anything else from board members? I will be speaking at city council Wednesday night on the ordinance to, moratorium for office space. I don't know, I haven't read it yet, I don't know if it's just on Draper Street or the downtown core. I thought it was just Draper Street,
That's what I was
between Lincoln
I
and
put the budget
California.
together on Friday.
Okay.
I haven't really looked at it either. It's online, it's in the agenda packet.
Okay,
It's a really big agenda packet because the budget's in there, it's like 527 pages. So if you go to the agenda and you click on, do you guys want to look at it now, or?
Yeah, I guess.
Probably should.
Steve, is it during public comment that she wants us to speak, or is it part of that item on the
It
agenda?
would be part of the item, because
it's on the agenda, so we wouldn't
Okay.
speak at that point.
Okay.
Before the budget?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
The budget goes pretty, no comment, but the budget goes really
It's
fast
the-
for how big of a document it is.
But the budget should go.
Yeah, no, there's 3 public hearings that, it's a big agenda, so there's 3 public hearings that go first. I could text you before it comes up.
It's a big packet.
Yeah. Almost there.
Did Jolene pick this meeting for us to come there and put it on the agenda for the next one?
Let's see how quick this goes.
Is you speaking?
Yeah, and she said Leslie too.
She kind of wanted me because I do have an.
Yeah, I think it's like the opposite view, yeah,
On Draper.
yeah. But that was gonna be my question, was if it was specifically, on Draper or the whole,
I'll pull up the map
District.
right
I
now.
was told Lincoln, California, on Draper.
okay, 'cause I wrote down Draper on my note.
Oh, the map. front-facing Draper businesses addresses.
Okay. And the very end is California?
Reggie will be able to tell us.
Sorry, I can't see that far.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like the Stone Hotel and the
Yeah,
gym
that's
would
a
be
good
the,
one.
yeah.
This is Larson, no.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Lincoln.
oh, that's the far stop, yeah, that's Larson's there, okay. Bars are good, well, what was Larson's?
It's the church across the street.
So does that mean, I have to read the ordinance still too. Is it just means no new office space?
Yeah, just new ones. It's like a pause on new offices in the specific part for now. It's like temporary hold.
Which is gonna be interesting, because a lot of those places are built only as offices. I don't think you could put,
I think a lot of it is the new building of the Stone Plaza and the applicants that are potentially looking to go into that building.
There's a couple more that are coming in. And Michael, and like I said, I haven't read it yet, so I'd be more than happy to move off of Draper Street if I knew that my space would turn into a retail or restaurant. I mean, I'm pretty dedicated to this town, and I would move off of it if I knew it would benefit the Draper Street. But my problem is, and I think this is, if I would move out, my landlords probably would just turn around and rent it to Fruit Brook, you know, type of thing. And that's not gonna help, you know, the situation.
Yeah, I haven't read it at all, but I could email you guys if you want, not the whole packet, but just that
Please do,
part.
yeah.
Yeah, if you would do that, that would be great,
Yeah,
before Wednesday night.
yeah,
If I could have it before.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Because we have a chamber.
Then I can figure out what to say.
I'll send it, I could send it to the BID businesses when we're done with this.
Okay.
Well, I also wonder, could there be an incentive for that?
Like I said, I would.
Where are they gonna go?
I would move off of
Yeah,
Draper
but
Street,
I mean, we know you, yes.
but they'd turn around and rent to another office. Because I am truly set up
Right,
as an
as an
office, you know, type of thing. You know, and, we keep track. I had my first walk-in, somebody looking for a house today, and that's the first walk-in I've had in 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't have walk-ins,
Okay.
you know, they don't come, they go on the internet, you know, they Google it, or they, you know, and then call us, you know, type of thing. I don't have to be on Draper Street. I don't know where you're gonna make a pea soup. Okay, anything else? Be cognizant of that. If you can show up at that meeting, you know, that would be great. Like I said, it's not eliminating, it's just a moratorium, so we can take 3 steps back, look at the zoning, look at all that, you know, it's not that we're never going to allow another office on that section of Draper Street. It's just like, wait a minute, we're getting too many, we put too much time and effort into branding ourselves, and
Money.
with tourists and people from out of town and all that, and, you know, even though walking doesn't bother me, but it seems to be, you know, when a business takes up this morning, there was 9 parking spots taken up by one business. You know, that's, I can understand the complaint type of thing. All right, any other business to be brought up? Hearing that, next meeting is scheduled for when? Is it on here?
July 6th. Wednesday, July 6th. At 8, unless you guys like 3 or 3:30, you know, 8 o'clock. Okay.
I will be gone. I will not be there. I will be in Idaho.
Okay, we'll make sure we have a quorum.
All right, if no further business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got to use the gavel.